be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I be buried in my grave and go home.
Someone asked if the story was going to be told about the willow tree, and I will try to give you the history of the willow tree. Naturally, this isn't the original. This is the third tree that we've planted. But back during 1919, there was a large willow tree, not in this spot, but in this area. And off from that willow tree, there was a mass grave where a lot of the bodies who were slain, the people who were slain, were buried opposite that willow tree. But as time went on, lightning struck the tree, it burned down, and it sort of erased precisely where it was located. Okay? But we decided, in honor of what was there, to place the willow tree over here. And of course, this again is the third tree because the first tree somebody needed for firewood. I'm assuming now. And so they destroyed it. The second tree was planted and it died. So with the third tree, prayerfully, this will be the charm. It will remain here. The park people came and placed this down, and we were all out here with a ceremony. Now, I do have some words I need to read, and a lot of time I don't remember things that's been written, so I'll have to look at the paper. So if I don't look at you when I'm talking, you'll understand. Right. All right. Okay. But again, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and being a part of history. And as to coincide with what Pastor Judge had said earlier, we need to go elsewhere and tell the story. Now that you've been to, excuse me, ma'am.
So, I heard from someone here in Elaine that house on that corner where we came out, a Jewish family lived there and hid a lot of black folks in their basement
Oh, is that
during
right?
the massacre. And
Okay.
and I was just wondering if you knew if
I,
that was true or not.
I don't know anything about that.
It
Okay.
has been said
Uh-huh.
that whites hid a lot of blacks.
Yeah.
That
Carried
they
them to
hid a lot of
safety. It
blacks
has been
in the
said.
basement. And
That is
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. The countess house. But I do know this, where the Elaine high school is presently. It was an old wooden building, and my wife's grandfather was held in captivity in that particular building. And it was he, along with others, who were compelled to bury the remains of so many people. And we don't know the total. So there are some bands that will be placed on the tree. And since we don't know the total, we're going to assume that each band represents those hidden graveyards where black people were buried during that time. And we don't know where all of those are either, okay? But in honor of them. Amen. So now, I'm going to begin to read.
May I?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
intervene?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because I only have 3%. Can
Go
I
ahead.
read
No,
my
go,
poem
go
first?
ahead. Go ahead.
Because I'm running out of gas.
Missionary Marshall, missionary going to bless us with a poem.
Thank you so much. This poem is about a tree. I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree. A tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowering rest. A tree that looks at God all day and lift her leafy arms and pray. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
Thank you. At the tree, the willow tree, it stands tall and it seems to sway with every wind. Sometime to the south, sometime to the east, the west, but seemingly rarely to the north. The willow tree, and it's planted because the original tree was destroyed by lightning. We have successfully convinced Dr. Brian Stevenson of the Lynching Museum to add Silas Hoskins to the names of the people they remember there. We also honor him and recognize he died with no burial right. No one even knows where he died or who shot him. But we do know in an area where he was shot, and he was shot north of us. Okay? No justice. We talked about that. No justice. But today we memorialize him and all those who died in Elaine before, during, and after the Elaine Massacre. We are at the tree, not the original, we are at the tree. It is a reminder that right here in this vicinity, my wife's grandfather, whose name was Pink Brandon, while incarcerated down in the school south of us, but we don't know what in 1919 was forced to bury bodies in a mass grave, which was actually west of it used to be a railroad. Okay, the walking trail was once a railroad, and the bodies were buried somewhere where we are parked over there. We don't know the exact spot, but that's where it was. Someone planted a memorial tree at that mass grave in the middle of the last century. It was killed by lightning. We replanted that tree as a living memorial to all who died unjustly in Elaine. And in direct people, okay, we're supposed to direct people back to the center where you will receive a nice soul food dinner. All right, okay, all right. But I would like to point out the museum, which is in progress. See where all the yellow the yellow markers.
Yes.
Yeah, on the corner. This will be the new museum where all the relics, all the information, what happened 1919, and other things that can be placed there as a reminder of that year. It's in progress right now. They're working on it every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you should have been able to see what it looked like before it reached this stage. And you could really appreciate the progress that has
Yeah.
been made.
Yeah. Yeah. And prayerfully, there will be a grand opening somewhere around February 17th. And we invite all of you to come back.
Everyone.